Welcome to the Sperm Donor Show. I'm savvyjinx sitting alongside Painter and the Twig. What up, fellas? What up?
What up with you, Twig? It seems like you got something on your mind. Or
Not
are you
much,
just
man.
chewing gum?
Just, the ex has a situation where planning on marrying this boy,
She's what, 4
Oh,
or 5
boy.
years older than him?
4 years older. She doesn't have her head on straight,
She doesn't have her head on straight.
and he doesn't have his head on straight.
Right.
But they're talking about this whole marriage thing. You know, you guys are saying it's like, why would he get married when he's got the shit for free right now?
Right, but marriage, did he get down on one knee? Has that happened?
Nope.
No.
No. See, that's what I'm saying, ladies. If you ever want your guy to marry you, don't move in first unless there's a proposal and a ring and a fiancé-ship involved. Because otherwise, he's getting the milk for free. He doesn't have to buy you cow.
There you go.
God
Yeah, that's how
damn,
it is.
man. Women believe in potential a lot.
Momentum.
You know, like that's why the wannabe rock star and the starving artist, you know, that's why they get pussy. You know, the women are like, well, he has potential to be great. He has potential to make it. He has this, he has that. All he needs is a good woman. You can't save people. Either he is great or he's not.
Right.
He's either there or he's not going there.
You know, it's fucking crazy to me, you know, and I'm trying to tell you to pick up women, all you have to do is pretend you're something successful or pretend that you're going to be successful. A lot of guys talk a good game.
Right.
You know, they print out some business cards, go buy a Rolex and fake Rolex and TJ and drive the Magnum PI car, and people think they got their shit together.
Right.
You know?
So they get the girl and they finally bed her and they're a great lay, but they're a piece of shit in real life.
Mhm.
Now they got this girl hooked and, you know, she's
She's
in
not
love
going
with this
anywhere.
piece of shit guy.
Yep.
I see too much of that out there. Not to play devil's advocate, but, you know, I've run into couples that have gotten married and said, like, wow, I wish I lived with my wife before we got married. She's a fucking slob, you know, or they find out a lot of things about them, like, they leave the toilet up. But wait a minute, am I talking about the guy or girl in this situation?
I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of leaving the toilet up, I remember I remember one time when I moved in with my daughter's mom, you know, which, you know, I was getting the milk for free. And
So
eventually,
you never had plans on marrying?
they were faint, but they weren't there.
But you never proposed to her
Right.
is what I'm saying.
No,
Did
I, you know what? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I would think you would remember that.
Well,
That was 16 years ago, man.
yeah, it was
Whatever.
too long ago. But anyway, so I moved in with her and her mom at the time, you know, and we were living together, and it was really funny because I always knew when I left the toilet up whenever I heard somebody scream, you know, because women got to sit down and take a piss.
How lazy,
and I would hear
how
something
lazy is that, though?
Yeah.
No, they trained me, though. I don't do that anymore.
But I'm saying,
I
how
did.
lazy is it? How long does it take to put a toilet seat down? Why don't you
Or-
put it back up for me?
Or not even to look at the toilet seat.
Yeah.
You're going to fall in?
Right.
Are you fucking
No,
kidding me?
But it was funny because her mom, sweetheart of a lady, was just a bit tapped out at times. And, you know, whenever I heard someone scream, you know, especially my name, like, Richard, like, I knew she fell in the toilet, like, you know, that cold
You mean
toilet water. And
Painter?
oh, yeah, Painter, a.k.a. Pleasure Pony. Yeah. You know where I got that nickname. There was a
Because of your hairy penis.
no, Pleasure Pony. There was a brief moment when at first, you know, I was cleaning toilets at Chippendales. So, you know, the guy realized that. He goes, hey,
What?
do
Is
you...
this for real?
Yeah. So it was for, you know, just a few months. Anyway,
You
so...
worked at a male strip club?
At a male strip club.
As
You
a
wouldn't
toilet
believe...
cleaner.
Oh, you wouldn't believe the women that went there.
Jizz
Just
mopper.
like, man. And I cleaned... There was more jizz in the women's restroom, I think. But anyway, you know, so the guy one time, like, asked me, hey, man, you know, do you work out? You know, because I wasn't tall enough to be a Chippendale or anything like that. So for a few times
They're
I got to be
chipmunks,
there.
for God's sake.
I got to
You're
be
not
their
tall enough
halftime
to be
show,
a
like 30
chipmunk.
minutes after midnight. And that's how they would introduce me onto the stage. It'd be the Pleasure Pony. And I'd jump on there with, like, my little elephant G-string and all that shit. I know. I'm waiting for you to call me in on that one.
Whatever.
You know, I told a girl
got
that
the
story
pleasure
once,
pony
and she
nickname from
bought it
being in
until
an
I
elephant
cracked up
Jeep.
in her face, you know, because I sat there dead serious telling like, yeah, I'm the pleasure pony. I used to be a Chippendale. It's like, come on, Chippendale, you can't be a Chippendale. I go, yeah, that's why I was called the pleasure pony, because, you know, like I was like a pony compared to these stallions. That's, you know, that's where I, you know, and I'd always offer a ride on the pleasure pony.
I think the worst job I ever had was like I was right out of the military. I just wanted something, just any job. So I applied at the fucking movie theaters. Right? Of course, I got the
Free
job,
movies.
Right? It was close to my house. You know, it was a bad situation. So right off the bat, I was like, yeah, you know, I want to be in the box office selling tickets. Oh, you got to work your way up for that. I'm like, what? To operate a cash register?
To
You have
sell
to be certified?
tickets?
Yep.
They're like, yeah, you know, at least a year. I'm like, fuck that shit. So right then I had a bad attitude. And they made me wear this medium pink shirt, barely fit me. You know, I'm tall, man. This thing was
Right.
A half shirt.
And so there was
Any
there was
belly
a couple,
showing?
There was like 4 or 5 people there I just didn't jive with. You know, there wasn't no connection. There was this Filipino kid, 17, 18 years old. There was this handy-capable guy there, you know, kind of the 2 crutches or 2 walking sticks, you know. And so the rule was you have to say hi to everyone as they walk by. Okay, no problem. So I'd be sweeping up the hallways, and this one guy goes to the bathroom. Hey, how's it going? He's hey. He comes back out of the bathroom. I don't say hi to him. And the handicapped guy goes, you didn't say hi to him. I said, well, yeah, I said hi when he went to the bathroom. No, you got to say hi again.
God damn.
I said, well, I'm not a stalker, you know. I mean, I already said what's up to him. I already said hi. He knows I'm friendly, you know.
Too high.
So I think he ratted me out. And then another time, the Filipino kid, he was just a little piece of shit. So after the movie lets out, we all go have a little cleaning crew, and one person has a clipboard and check off that we clean the movie theater. And this guy goes, every time we would clean the theater, he would just kind of disappear. And then at the end, he would come pick up a kernel of popcorn and be like, oh, that was, you know, we're all done. So I called this shit out at the end of the day. You know, he says, oh, man, you know, I can't wait to go home. I was like, yeah, you know, can't wait. It's Friday night. Can't wait to get out of here, blah, 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 blah. And we're all talking. And he goes, yeah, man, I'm beat. I said, from what? You haven't done shit all day. And he ratted me out. Then I was behind the snack bar. And this girl looked like she was sneaking a 40 in or something in her sweatshirt. And I was like, what do you got back there, a 40 ounce of beer? And I think she told on me, some customer. I'm like, this job fucking sucks. So they brought me in the office. They're like, hey, you know, we don't think it's working out. We've had complaints about you. I'm like, yeah.
That's crummy, man.
They're
That's
like,
fucking
well, your
crummy.
attitude, this and that and the other. I'm like, yeah, I know it sucks. I was like, do you want this pink shirt now, or should I mail it to you? And they're like, well, whatever you want. You know, I think he was worried I was going to blow up on him. So I just took the shirt off there, threw it on his desk. I was like, have a nice life. Mail me my check, dick. Yeah, that job sucked, man.
That's the mundane. I can't imagine. That's like, fuck.
It was a weird, like, sometimes when you go to a job, people just, like, embrace you, get along with people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to a job, and people just look at you like you're from a fucking another planet.
Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine what would be so exciting about just standing around, saying hi to people coming and going in a movie theater.
It was not exciting. It was boring as fuck. But I didn't have a bad attitude until the people that I worked around were dickheads to me.
Yeah.
You know, the job sucked. I mean, jobs normally suck.
Yeah.
Work sucks. You know?
Man, it's like a movie I saw. Man, I can't remember the movie, but the guy worked at Walmart, and people come and go. That was his job to, you know, greet them. So he would greet them, be like, "Hi, I love you. Come back again." I'm just like, are you kidding?
That's all I was doing. You know, I mean, I was trying to keep myself entertained. You know, trying to.
If I was you, I would have been more malicious. I would have been purposely malicious. You know, like you know, putting like gum on the seats. So when people sit down,
worth it to burn those calories. I was done. I was done at that job. I got a better job after.
Yeah.
You know, start bartending, but horrible.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it wasn't even really a firing because I was only there like 30 days, if that.
30
I don't even
days.
think that. It was
Couldn't
probably a week.
You didn't even make it through probation.
No.
Did they cut you a vacation paycheck? You know,
Please. I had nothing accrued.
like
I had nothing going on.
severage pay.
Speaking of Walmart, though, dude, what's up with the this old guy
Yeah.
slapping the shit out of a 2.5-year-old kid.
This happened a couple months ago. Some 2.5-year-old kid, it might have been 3 years old, was at Walmart.